What is up, YouTube? This is White Venom here again, and today I'm bringing you a very cool tutorial for you today about and related to Assassin's Creed Syndicate. Now, I know I made an Assassin's Creed Syndicate related video earlier this month or last month, but today I really wanted to show you guys a very awesome thing that I made this past week. It is the Assassin's Creed Syndicate gauntlet, basically. Now, this took me about a week to actually finish and complete. Now, doing this process, this was primarily for my character, that I made actually last year. And I've put into a lot of thought into making this character that I created fit in the world of Assassin's Creed Syndicate and in the Victorian era. So, as you saw in the last video, I made a lot of changes. If you did, however, see the video, I will put a link into the description if you do not. But in that video, I used the Phantom Blade and a lot of other different designs to fit in the world of Assassin's Creed Syndicate in the Victorian era. But I recently thought to myself, from some friends of mine who done the gauntlet and some other amazing cosplayers who've made the gauntlet themselves for their Jacob Fry cosplays. And so it was really bugging me to make one myself because it was very complex, but it looked very challenging for me to actually make an assassin gauntlet such as like this, with so much detail and architectural designs. So I know that didn't make sense at all, but I'm trying to make big words sound smart, so bear with me, please. But yeah, I'll go into much of the details of how I actually made this amazing piece right here for my Benjamin Arthur character. So let's get started. I first want to thank my friend Jamie Oakley, he is one of my friends in England who inspired me to make this assassin gauntlet. You can find his channel at Creed Cosplay, youtube.com/Creed Cosplay, or you can find him at his Instagram, which I'll put in the description down below. He has a lot of amazing work, Assassin's Creed work. He is a very talented artist, and I thank him a lot for inspiring me to make this gauntlet. Thanks to Jamie, and thanks to Rick Boyer, or Boyer, however you say his last name. I'm sorry if I butchered it. But he is also an amazing Assassin's Creed cosplayer who did Altair, Connor, Edward, Arno, and now Jacob Fry. He also has a video up on his YouTube channel. I'll also put a link in the description to see how he made his Assassin's Creed Syndicate gauntlet. But let me go ahead and get started on the review of how I actually made mine. I'll first show you the details around the Assassin gauntlet itself. Right now, here's an example of the type of materials I mainly and primarily used throughout the process of making this Assassin's Creed Syndicate gauntlet throughout this week. The first being is your simple EVA foam. You can buy this at Walmart. It comes in this gigantic roll of, I think this is a quarter-inch thick EVA foam. It's a very flexible and durable foam style that you can heat with a heat gun, and it bonds really good with hot glue or super glue, whatever you use. The super glue I use is a Gorilla Glue super glue gel with a green cap on it. That seems to be the best one. Type of super glue that I use a lot, and it's very strong material because it's Gorilla Glue. Sometimes it doesn't do so good on cloth or any other type of material, but for the most part, it's a very strong super glue material. So that's why I like to use it against type of foams or anything else. That and hot glue. Hot glue is not the best gluing substance that you can actually use for your cosplays, because it ends up either melting in the hot sun during hot summer days and ruining your cosplays, leaving you in distress. But it still does good nonetheless on other things, except leather and I guess sometimes wood and other materials, plastic as well. But for the most part, hot glue does do good. So let me get started on some more things. Here is what I used to make the leather material look on the gauntlet itself. Now this is just not your actual real leather. This is more like fake leather. This is some leather I bought at Hobby Lobby as like a clearance sale, I believe. I never had the time to really use it for anything, but I do now. So this is what gives the gauntlet that actual leathery look, and it's fake back. So what I did was I would use sprayed adhesive and have the form already down on the EVA foam for all my pieces. I would spray adhesive the places that I wanted on the EVA foam, the templates that I had laid out. And what I would do was I would, like I said before, again repeating myself, spray adhesive, the EVA foam, and then lay the leather on top of the EVA foam, and giving it that very clean, leathery look, as you can see right here. The main bases for these two layers are EVA foam, and like I said before, or you can see in here as well, here's the EVA foam on both pieces. I just spray adhesived them down on the top surface, and then what I did was for the corners or the loose ends, I would flip or cover them over very tightly against the EVA foam and hot glue them down, so it makes a very flush look when folding down the leather on the EVA foam for all the pieces right there inside there as well. So that's what I did, and the last little bit of foam out here is just your average sheet foam that you can buy at Walmart. Again, I think it's like, I don't know how, like, what, something cents a sheet. And those little details I use for the gold plates here. Some of the more fine details like the, I'm sorry, I'm out of frame, the armored plates right here. The little straps right here as well. And as well as some of the other materials I use, like the knuckle placement here, and as well as the brass knuckle section, and as well as the rings for the gloves placement. So that's pretty much what I use a lot for that particular type of material. And last but not least, the main material that I use for sculpting the certain shapes, especially the hidden blade, which I'll go in detail later. The grapple hook, I sculpted the grapple hook myself as well. I'll go in more detail to that. I sculpted the berserk cannon, or the hallucinogenic cannon, whatever you want to call it, and as well as I sculpted the brass knuckle section. So the sculpting clay I use is this Stone X material. It's my first time ever using a type of sculpting clay, because I never really had to sculpt anything before until now. So this is my first time actually using this type of sculpting clay material. It's air dry clay. It takes about an hour or 2 hours, depending on how thick your clay material is. And it worked really good. And what you can do is, once it's dried, I mean, it works as simple as any other wet clay that you use. Wet it down, make sure it's like really clay material like you learned in art class when working with clay. I first made the decision of using epoxy sculpt or epoxy putty, and I didn't have the materials at hand to get them, because I went to Hobby Lobby, and this is the best one I think that they had to offer for sculpting clay. I'm sure there's others out there, but I don't really know which to get, so this is my first time actually getting some. So the Stone X stuff did really, really well, and it sculpted the grapple hook section. This is made out of wood. This is bendable wire, in case I need to actually bend the hook a certain way for fitting on the gauntlet. So the main sector here for the grapple hook is all sculpted by the Stone X right there. That main piece right there. This is wood. This is an old bracelet right here. That's more of the excess Stone X stuff that I did not use. Some more of that sheet foam right there for that metal piece right there, and some more EVA foam to give it some more height depth on the gauntlet. Some more sculpting on the hidden blade. This is actually the Phantom blade that I especially modded and took the bow off, and I sculpted the middle section right here and the kind of back section right here. This isn't really how the game actually looks. I think the back part right here is a little bit higher up, but I kind of misinformed that part right there because I really wanted to be able to access this button really good to ignite the blade. There we go, it's not locking in place. Anyway, this part right here, the back panel right here, is all made of wood. Sheet foam again, EVA foam right here for this back piece, and some necklace bead right here. And this again is this is a Google eye that I use for like a button. I use the Google eyes again for the rivets on the metal bracket pieces right here. So that came really handy. And some of the more final pieces, I sculpted the Berserk cannon right here, the section right here, out of the Stone X. This part, the main cannon piece right here, is made of wood, or balsa wood, and 2 layers of EVA foam, some screws, and that same bendable wire I used on the grapple hook right here. So that uses for that pulley section right here. And finally, the first thing I did was sculpted was the brass knuckles, and these were the first ever thing I sculpted. So all that was Stone X right there. Some more of that thin sheet foam for the layer of gold right there to give it the extra look, and with some silver to make it look really detailed. So that's the 4 main components that I use to make and assemble this amazing gauntlet. So I'll give you more in detail on a little more details on the gauntlet itself. So let's continue. Some of the miscellaneous stuff that I added on the gauntlet itself were buckles and straps that I used from like old women's shoes, which is actually kind of weird, but actually very innovative the way I think it. Because we were going to Goodwill, I think, one day to Wilmington with my mom and brother. Because we were going to visit my dad working in Myrtle Beach at the time, and we were going to surprise him at work. So when we went to Goodwill, my mom had these old shoes that she was going to give to Goodwill, and I thought, I was recently had it in my head that I knew I was going to work on more on the gauntlet, and I needed some buckles and some straps to work for the knuckle section and the top 2 pieces here on the main middle section of the gauntlet. So when I saw the buckles on the shoes, I was like, I need those because they would be perfect for the way, the look of the gauntlet. And so I took them at the nick of time before we went into Goodwill and sold the rest of our stuff, or gave the rest of our stuff to Goodwill anyway. So this is what I use for the buckle straps for the gauntlet itself. Is just regular shoe straps from a woman's shoes. So being very smart and innovative into making this certain cosplay and not actually stitching or getting some thick leather and stitching them together to make the look. So being very creative with this design. So anything that you can find to make this gauntlet work, you can find it, whether it be from Goodwill, a yard sale, just a donation, whatever, to make a cosplay possible. And that's pretty much it for the miscellaneous stuff. The more like the button accents right here are like just I think snap-on buttons that you would use for like, what was it, like, so for clothing you would have like snapback buttons or whatever. They're just regular buttons that I thought would fit the look for the gauntlet itself. Like I said before, the thin sheets of foam were used as the brackets, metal protective pieces, and as well as Google eyes for the rivets as well. Now I'll show you how I assemble this gauntlet itself. Now, for assembly for this Accessory Syndicate gauntlet, I got the idea from Rick Boyer in his video he posted on YouTube. He used what I believe was Velcro straps to attach the hidden blade and the grapple hook. Sorry, excuse me, I'm having burp issues, but the grapple hook and the hidden blade were attached via Velcro to the bottom section of the gauntlet itself. That's what it appeared to me, and also appears in game that and some more footage or images that you can find on Google that the two straps are indeed hooked up to the hidden blade itself. So what I did was I bottom velcroed the main piece of the hidden blade as well as the grapple hook, and once I attach the gauntlet to my arm, I will first put on, and what's cool about this is the way that it's set up, I can actually extend the hidden blade just a little bit farther, just to give it that extra menacing look. Let me just bring it up just a little bit more. Now secure it tightly to the Velcro, make sure it doesn't come off, and secure them with the two straps that were provided on the gauntlet itself. Wrap the wrist bungee. This is actually elastic band type material that I used. It's a very great innovative thought process to actually secure and with anything Velcro related, so that's a really good idea to use when cosplaying this elastic band type material. And last but not least, go right there. It would Velcro right in. This one's the gauntlet. Excuse me. The grapple hook is kind of tricky to actually Velcro in because it kind of wants to wobble a little bit. That's not a problem if you don't move around a lot when using it. So. And that's how the gauntlet itself is assembled, and the blade itself is gravity fed, like you saw in the preview video. So there's no spring, so it makes it great to actually give it that freedom to let loose your blade. And here's and it still locks in place via the mechanism right here. So there's a good 360 view of the entire gauntlet itself. Got like 16 seconds on this timer right here for the video ends. And that's the 360 view of my gauntlet for 3 seconds left on this timer. So that concludes the end of my review for my tutorial type of deal here for my Assassin's Creed Syndicate Gauntlet. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope it was really informative to see how you can actually make your own. It was a great experience to actually make this thing. I'm very, very proud of the way it turned out. A lot of my friends who've actually made their own gauntlets have been complimenting me, saying that this is actually really, really great. Good job on all of my Instagram. So much support on this. So thank you guys a lot. And even right beside it is my first version of the Victorian style gauntlet or vambrace, which was the one I made for Animazement. So that one was sadly now changed to the new version, which I like a lot better than my old one. Not discrediting the old one at all, but even though this is a pretty fancy and very cool design, I do like the fact that I did make this by myself and that it came out so well, and that yeah, I'm using it a lot for my cosplay. So more I hope, yeah, again, I'm sorry I'm rambling on, but thank you guys again for watching the video. Please subscribe, like, and comment to my channel. If you have any questions, please comment. The descriptions of my Instagram, my Facebook fan page, and my friends' Facebook or Instagram pages will also be in the description below. Check them out. Go follow them. Go like them. Show them some support too. Give them some love. Thanks again, guys. Again. This is White Venom signing out.